Boy, first time in 8 days we're positive on the Dow. There's a couple of things, 3 or 4 things that are helping the markets. Let's just go through them very quickly here. Number one, we got some good, decent manufacturing numbers, particularly over in Europe, and Europe could use it. It's up about 1% overall. We have some optimism over OPEC here, raising production, but not as much as people thought. So the oil stocks are all up 1 to 2%. The banks passed the stress test. That's a modest positive. And there's some stories floating around that maybe the White House is trying to restart trade talks. There's nothing definitive, but this floating around out there. I think that's a marginal positive. And you can see this in the markets. Look at the sectors here. Energy stocks are up 1% or so, and they're up for the week overall. The banks have finally rallied a little bit here. The stress test, I think, helping. Retail's just been great again all week, and semiconductors up fractionally. But there's been damage done to these tariff issues all week. We talked about new lows in some of the big industrial names yesterday. So industrials are down about 3% for the week. Materials are down 3%. Semis, these are all the tariff stories. So a lot of damage still being done here. You were talking about Red Hat under pressure there. It's down like 12%. On weaker billings and guidance, but the dollar is the story. You're going to see this a lot from companies reporting earnings. Here's Eric Chandra, the CEO. Given the headwinds that have developed in foreign exchange rates since that time, we are adjusting our full-year total revenue guidance by approximately $50 million solely to account for the change in FX rates. Oracle said this as well. You're going to hear companies going into earnings season warning about the effects of rates. We haven't seen that for a while. Finally, going to be one of the biggest volume days of the year. In fact, probably will be. We have a yearly event. It's called the Russell Reconstitution, and this is the triumph of the indexers, folks. We always talk about ETFs and everybody going into passive funds. This is a day it matters here. The Russell people will be rebalancing the Russell 2000, which is the big cap benchmark, and the Russell 1000. So the biggest stocks go into the 1000, the smallest go into the 2000, and a lot of companies get moved around because they adjust their share weightings throughout the year here. So we've got about $9 trillion benchmarked to the Russell indexes. That's a lot, second only to the S&P 500. And about 10% of the Russell 2000, which is the benchmark, are controlled by index funds. So when you change the weightings in these stocks, a lot of money moves around. Most of this is going to happen in the final close. Watch out for a couple names out there. Apple is reducing its share count weighting. JP Morgan is reducing. Grubhub is going from the small cap, the 2000, into the 1000. And because there's more money benchmarked to the 2000, you might see some stock for sale in Grubhub. I'll go over some of the names might be affected throughout the day. But big volume today. And we're sitting at the highs of the day. Carl, back to you.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.